Welcome again to our online classroom. So for today, we will learn how to add dissimilar fractions. So when we say dissimilar fraction, these are fractions with different denominators. So let's start with the first example. Okay, so paano nga ba i-add yung 1/2 at saka 1/3? So as you can see here, they have different denominators. They are dissimilar fraction. So if you can recall, para ma-add natin yung mga fractions na hindi pareho yung denominator or sinasabi nating dissimilar fraction, ang ginagawa natin is to get the least common denominator. Okay, to get the least common denominator of 2 and 3, we will get the multiples of both numbers. For example, the denominator 2 has a multiple of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and so on. In our denominator 3, the multiples are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and so on. So when we say least common multiple, we mean the smallest of the common number we are listed. Okay, so anong ibig sabihin ng common? Yung numbers po na pareho dun sa dalawang list na ginawa natin. So we have common multiple like 6 and 12. If we continue, we will have more multiples, but we are looking for the least common multiple or LCM. So we can see here clearly that the least common multiple of 2 and 3 is 6. So once we have the least common multiple, what we will do is to convert these fractions so that their denominator becomes 6. Okay, so therefore, we will change those denominators of our first and second fraction to be converted into 6. Okay, so as you can see here, we add two fractions with 6 as denominator. Okay, so we will now also convert our numerators. So 6 divided by 2 times 1 is 3. This means that the equivalent of 1/2 is 3/6. So we divide the LCM by the denominator and then multiply by the numerator. Okay, next we will convert also our second fraction. 6 divided by 3 is 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, so as you can see, they are now similar fraction. So we will now add the numerator and copy the denominator. 5/6 is our final answer. Okay, so we will now proceed to example number 2. So what is 2/3 plus 1/5? Okay, what we will do again is to calculate for the least common multiple of 3 and 5. For 3, we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, and so on. Okay, for denominator 5, we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and so on. Okay, so makikita dito sa list natin na 15 ang pinaka least common multiple nila. Therefore, 15 is the LCM of 3 and 5. Okay, now we will calculate for two fractions that are equivalent of this. So, lahat ng denominator i-convert natin into 15 or papalitan natin lahat ng 15 yung denominator as our LCM. 15 divided by 3 is 5 times 2 is 10, and then next we have 15 divided by 5 is 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, then we will now add our numerator and copy our common denominator, which is 15. Our final answer is 13/15. Okay, so sa example number 1 natin, our final answer is 5 over 6. As number 2, 13 over 15. Okay, last example natin. So we have 3 fractions with different denominator. So we have 2/3 plus 1 over 6 plus 1 over 8. Okay, so we can now list the multiples. What do you think is our common multiples? Okay, so we have denominator 3 for our first fraction. We have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, and so on. Okay, for denominator 6, we have 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, and 42, and so on. Next, the third list should also have a least common multiple, the same as first and second. So we have 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, and so on. So you can see what's common in our list. The least common multiple is 24. Obviously 24. Kasi meron tayong 24 sa tatlong list natin. Okay, so 12 is not the least common multiple because there is no 12 in our third list, as well as 18. Okay, so we will have 3 fractions here with 24 as our denominator because 24 is our LCM. So, lahat ng denominator natin sa tatlong fraction natin will be converted into 24. Okay, for the first fraction, 24 divided by 3, that is 8 times 2 is 16. Okay, for the second fraction, 24 divided by 6, that is 4 times 1 is 4. Last fraction, we have 24 divided by 8 is 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, so our final answer is 23 over 24. Okay class, so the technique here is to actually convert the fractions to similar fractions. That is why we compute for the LCM or the least common multiple. It is because we cannot add fractions if they are dissimilar or has different denominators. So we make the fraction similar by getting the least common multiple.